Welcome to the second episode of the Due North Political Podcast. I'm Perry Schumacher. I'm in tonight with Mike Machsenbacher, Ryan Schumacher, and Leon Francis. Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
Welcome back at 2 weeks off. We got lots to talk about. I got some interesting topics. But there's one thing I want to show first before we've had a certain country that's been a pain in America's butt since I'm 15 years old and I'm now 62. So in honor of the Ayatollahs, I have to show a little something just to get us off to a good start.
That's
Thought that was funny. And then, are you guys familiar with the Babylon Bee?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They had this out today that I thought was worth putting on. That is a great idea for them, that using satire to make fun of everything, don't you think?
100%.
Leave it up to the bee. Yeah, they're great.
I wonder if that would work locally. Do you think it would work locally? There'd be, have a North Dakota one and make fun of politics and people in the news in North Dakota. You'd have to be
for sure. For sure. I'd love that.
You'd have to be really good at humor. I don't know a comedian, but I think it'd be funny. Anyhow, we start our show with what we call my 2 cents, where I ask each of the co-hosts a specific question, make them think. And they're all going to have a different answer on the same question. So we'll start with my 2 cents here. Give me a second. Guys, the Save America Act is popular right now. It's sitting on Thune's desk. It's stalled in the Senate. The SAVE Act requires voters to be citizens and have a photo ID. It is an extremely important piece of legislation, and it prevents fraud from running rampant in our elections. There's another thing called the census we take every 10 years that currently counts non-citizens when we go out and count, like in year 2000. This is estimated to increase Democrat seats in the House of Representatives by between 17 to 30 seats. In your opinion, which one is more important, the Save America Act or census reform, where we stop counting non-citizens? This would help favor Republicans drastically in some of your big red states, blue states. In your opinion, which one is more important? We'll start with Leon. Let's give your 2 cents, Leon.
I love that. Well, obviously, and I've talked about this for quite some time. I think census reform is way more important because it fixes the foundation. You stop counting non-citizens for apportionment, and you level the playing field for citizens everywhere, especially in the red states, because those guys are getting screwed. We're a red state. We're getting screwed. So the Save America Act is solid for plugging like the voter fraud holes, but non-citizen voting isn't like flipping elections in mass. It's the census BS. It's quietly shifting real power every decade. So if I had to pick one, it'd be census reform, hands down. It's the if we're playing the long game winner, that would make representation actually mean something for America. And again, I have a little bit of a dog in this fight, and I'm sorry, I'm going to wrap this up.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
We forget about the 3/5 compromise. You know, Democrats once tried this crap before, and they wanted to count slaves as partial persons for extra representation in Congress while giving them zero actual rights or votes. Uh, like those Southern Democrats, they were the precursor to the modern Democrats. They're just this is entirely to boost their power. That's what it is, and we need to see it for what it is. Fix the foundation, and so that's why I think census reform.
I think you make a valid argument. Ryan, what do you think? What do you favor, SAVE Act or the census reform? Which is more important to the country?
I was going back and forth on this, and it was a tough choice to make since I could only choose one. I feel both are important to our nation and the sanctity of our elections. But my first and foremost goal would be to exclude illegal immigrants from having any impact on our nation's elections, and to be sure that those that are non-citizens as well have no impact. Currently, all immigrants are counted in the census. The term immigrants can include naturalized citizens, as well as non-citizens such as green card holders or permanent residents, foreign students, guest workers, and it also includes illegal aliens. As I was doing some research, I found some interesting numbers, and you alluded to some here in your opening statement. But if we project forward to the 2030 census, all immigrants, including minor children, are estimated to affect 28 seats in the apportionment for the House of Representatives. That's over 6% of the number of representatives in the House, and not a small number by any means when you realize what impacts it might have. If we take out the naturalized citizens and just look at non-citizens and legal immigrants, there are about 12 seats that are expected to be impacted. And if we just look at illegal immigrants alone, they represent about 9 seats. So all of these are about a 5 or so seat increase from what was occurred in the 2020 census for the 3 groups. And if we focus just on the illegal immigrants themselves, they have a 6 seat higher impact, or are projected to, in 2030 compared to 2020. They had 3 in 2020, and they're expected to have 9 here now in 2030. And if every immigrant group has the same 5 or 6 seat impact, and the illegal immigrants are the first layer in each of these, that means that the increase in these seats are all directly attributed to the illegal immigrants, the millions of illegal immigrants that were allowed to flood our country by the Biden administration. Just think of that, how many millions of people came over and what impact they're going to have on our elections.
Now we see a migration. People are leaving blue states, going to red. Texas is growing. The Carolinas are growing. Florida's growing. So when you add that combination, you already have people fleeing these red states. I mean, it could be even a bigger gain because of if we had this census reform. Now, guys, is that, correct me, is it in front of the Supreme Court? Is it something we're going after? Or is it just, it is? Did the Supreme Court rule on this? I don't think they have they?
No, I think what's in front of the Supreme Court now is the birthright citizenship clause of the 14th Amendment, where it talks about all persons naturalized to that effect, or subject to the laws or jurisdiction thereof, which that's the important question. What does that mean? That's never been defined. Well,
back in the day, it was kind of a given. The entire reason for this, for the whole birthright citizenship, is, again, Democrats wanted to restrict the children of slaves from being citizens. Like everything that is messed up in today's society comes from that side of the aisle. I'm just going to say it. I know that I think it's called the Equal Representation Act. I think that is stuck in committees. The House version, I think it advanced late last year, I think. But now it's dormant. It's not fiscal enough for reconciliation or anything like that. So I don't know what we could do about that. Mike, you got
Where
any?
do you come down on this? Do you agree with these two, or do you differ from them? Do you prefer the SAVE Act? Which one's more important?
Well, I really think both are probably equally important. And, this is an 80-20 issue. And I saw in a poll recently, I think it was a Gallup poll, that like 75% of Democrats supported it. And I believe it was almost 90% from Republicans. So, I mean, this is common sense. I mean, do you think if any of us went over to China or India or Cambodia or wherever it be, and, we're not citizens, but we show up at the polls to vote, do you think they're going to let us vote? I mean, not a chance. So why is this even being debated? I'm even in the camp, maybe you take it a little bit further, that, if you come to America, you need to ask yourself, why am I coming here? I'm going to assume that most people are coming here for a better life and are likely leaving a country, where they're being oppressed or they have threats of violence or whatever it is. But I really think you need to swear allegiance to the country, our country, and denounce your citizenship from your former country. You gotta, they have to remember why they left their old country. You left it because America was a better option for you. And furthermore, there's those that come to America and try to change our country to be more like their home country. I mean, do they know what they're doing? I mean, you're trying to turn America into the same country you left. I just don't get it. And, I really get upset when I hear people say that America sucks. I'm sorry, but you know what? If you think America sucks, then you're free to leave. Nothing stops.
Why are you here?
Right. But most importantly, where are they going to go that it's better? I've seen, do you guys ever watch those street interviewers where they ask people on the street, if they hate America? And, I've watched several of those and I get a kick out of them, but, most of them will ask, well, what country would you rather be in and why don't you go there? And I don't think I've ever seen one give an example of a country where they could go that would provide better opportunities for them. And, what I think we should do? I think we should start the Due North Travel Agency. And we can help those that hate America get plane tickets out of the country. And if they hate it so bad, then go somewhere where you think it's better. And, there's things that I don't like in our country. Also, I get it. We have our faults, but the truth is there's no other country I'd rather be in.
Mike, would you be a pilot or a flight attendant in that, in that travel agency, or would you just do the bookings?
I'm not qualified for either. I'll just be stamping tickets out of the country. That's
So-
the most I can do.
So, guys, the SAVE Act is the popular thing right now. You see it in the news every day, right? But I kind of wonder, is this a little bit like Obamacare for Republicans? They're for it, but they're not really for it. You know what I'm saying?
Why wouldn't they be for it?
Yeah.
Republicans?
Yeah.
Well, why isn't it passing then?
Well, exactly right. That's the question I have too. Why is this even being
So
debated? Like I said,
They're faking that they're for it because 90% of their constituents are. Dudes, they cheat just as much as the other side, just a little bit less. Okay. But there's cheating going on all over the place. And a politician's thing is self-interest. Now just look at the filibuster. Okay. I started thinking about this afternoon. These lazy suckers in Washington, if they had to sit there and talk for 70 straight days because they wanted to attach a filibuster to something, that's 70 days they can't run for re-election. And they actually have to work day after day, 24 hours a day. They have to be there to work because it's in session. That's why they went with the zombie filibuster. Somebody just mentioned the word, okay, let's get the hell out of town. Okay, it's stopped. I mean, this is pathetic. It's pathetic, but there's personal self-interest reasons why they don't want it passed. Otherwise, it would be. It's the same thing as Obamacare was a decade ago. Thoughts?
I guess I didn't look at it like that. I have an issue because I see like everyone is we beat up over John Thune and like what he's doing. I don't understand that. I don't understand like if you're supposed to be pro-Trump, why we are not getting recess appointments because you, for 2 seconds, gavel open just so you stop. I don't understand anything, man. Like I'm looking at procedure and I see Republicans stymieing Trump's forward progression. I said today that there's this joke that Trump plays 3D chess or 4D chess or whatever, and I agree that he is playing chess. He's reshuffling the entire board. For far too long, we've been playing like as pawns, and we are the power broker on the world stage. And what he's doing is he's reordering the board. And it seems to me that at every juncture, you have Republicans and Democrats stymieing him, holding him back, retarding his progress. I don't understand that either, but I get it. And if we're talking about for time, no, I was going to make a point that if we're talking about for time, it's effective in the midterms election, maybe go with the SAVE Act. But I was thinking about that. The Equal Representation Act was, passed last year. So I don't know.
I'm not a professional political strategist, but if I was John Thune, I would tell the 53 Republicans, we're not guaranteed, and we're probably in trouble actually on the Republican side of the aisle about losing the House and possibly losing the Senate. I mean, I would assume that our best political strategy right now would be for leadership in the Republican Party to say, hey, here's the deal. This is our best chance to make sure that we retain both the House and the Senate, and put it, force a vote on it, make sure all 53 Republicans vote in favor, whether they like it or not, and make the Democrats, tell their constituents why they voted against something that even 75% of their voters supported. I mean, I don't know of a better political strategy right now, but I guess if I was in Thune's shoes, that's what I'd be doing right now.
Can I just interrupt? So they have a procedure thing. It's called a filibuster. And I get that. We've had it for a while. Some people prefer it. Okay. So there's a filibuster. But let's make the filibuster what it's really supposed to be. It's the Jimmy Stewart filibuster, right? It wasn't intended that somebody just raises their hand from the back and says, I filibuster. And then you had to work at it. Yeah. So they can pass it or get it to the floor, but they got to bring back the original filibuster. And if the original filibuster comes back, now we have to work all the time. It's not going to be just use this once. A filibuster is going to go back to the original intent of the Constitution. And boy, that could be 70 days. I don't get to fly back to North Dakota to work on my reelection and get 3 days off a week. I got to be there for 70 straight days. Holy cow, that's including weekends. So that's where it's at, I believe. Ryan, you got any different opinion?
I was just going to say, I think a lot of these Republicans, why they're holding this up, Thune, to name one, is we're seeing what we saw back in Trump's first term, not quite to the extent, but a lot of these Republicans are happy to use Trump and his name to get elected, but they don't really want him messing with their status quo. Yep. And the way they do things in Washington. And so they try to stymie him whenever they can and his agenda. You've got, guys like Rubio who have come on board and have done a great job, but there's a lot that are still in Congress on both sides of the aisle that don't want to see their normal way of living interrupted.
When you're there till you're 90 years old, you're going to last a few presidents, right? So you just want to go on. Right. So guys, we're going to move to Fire Away. That's our next segment. We call it Fire Away. This is where I ask the guys the same question, but they have specific questions to them. And we saw Trump's State of the Union speech a couple weeks ago. We now have a war that kind of way overshadowed it. But the highlight of his speech was when he gave the statement, if you agree with this statement, stand up and show your support. The first duty of an American government is to protect the American citizen, not illegal aliens. Then all Republicans stood, Democrats did not. Mm-hmm. So I thought we'd spend some time riffing on stand up if you agree. We're going to start with Leon. We'll go to Mike or we're going to start with Ryan, then Mike, then Leon. But give us your first, Ryan, stand up if you agree statement.
Well, this one's near and true, dear and true to me, which is stand up if you agree that we should have term limits for members of Congress.
Mm.
As Perry said, it's not your God-given right to feel like you should live there or stay there till you die.
Mike, you got one?
Yep. I would say stand up if you think people that think we should try communism in the United States should have to live in a communist country for 6 months first.
Oh,
This is going to get funny. Leon, you're next.
well, I wasn't going with funny, but I'm a big, Second Amendment guy. So stand up if you agree with this statement. Stand up and show your support. The Second Amendment is non-negotiable. Defending our right to keep and bear arms is non-negotiable. That's my first one.
Well, I've got one. I'm gonna say I'm gonna try and test the audience and see if they're all listening, not just the Republicans. Stand up if you agree. If you took part in getting us $39 trillion in debt, it'd be everybody. It would be funny if. Sorry.
Like Trump with Pelosi. Did she stand up? Did she stand up?
Ryan, you're next.
Stand up that if you agree that if you currently hold a political office and want to run for another political office, that you should have to resign from the current office you're holding. You should not have a fallback position if you lose, and you should not disregard your duties of one elected office while focusing your time and energy on another political office.
Jesus.
Oh.
Mike, you're next.
Well, since we're on the topic of resigning offices, how about stand up if you think spreading false propaganda purposely for political gain should result in automatic resignation of your legislative seat?
Mm.
We're on fire right now, guys. Fire away, Leon.
Well, if you agree with this statement, stand up and show your support. Your IQ should be higher than your shoe size to run for any political office. And I'm looking at Texas right now.
My next one is stand up if you agree, if you've ever made a DEI hire.
Mm.
Ryan, your turn.
My wife just stood up. No, I'm kidding.
Stand up if you agree that those responsible for both the Russia hoax and the draconian COVID policy should be held responsible for their actions.
Perfect. Love it. How about
Mike, you're up.
stand up if you think The View is good programming?
Leon.
Stand up if you agree that parents, not bureaucrats, should control their children's education, medical decisions, and their future.
Amen to that.
Agreed.
Exactly.
Stand up if you agree that abortion is the religion of the left.
See, one of our commenters here just said one that I was going to say about stand up for banning lobbyists from our politicians, so I'll go on to another one. Stand up if you agree that unions for government workers, teachers, and other non-dangerous jobs should be abolished.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Leon.
How about
All right,
stand
Mike.
up if you think you need to take your driver's license test in English?
Ooh.
They say, back to the SAVE Act, well, no one's, illegals aren't voting or non-citizens aren't voting. Well, you can get a driver's license, and that's all you got to show here in Minnesota is the illegals can get a driver's license as the one truck driver that was driving down the wrong side of the road in interstate in Missouri.
Dude, you just took my.
Oh, sorry.
Well, the reason I brought that one up is I actually went to the DMV here recently to get my youngest his driver's license, and I saw that you can take the driver's license test in like 13 different languages here in North Dakota, and one of them I think was Swahili. I mean, how can you take a driver's license test in Swahili if you can't read the signs that are on the side of the road, how do you know how fast to go, or whether it's, stop or yield or whatever? I mean, if you can't understand the English version of the signs, how can you take or pass your driver's license test? Blew my mind.
Was there
As
one in
Steve Hayes
Klingon?
says- As Steve Hayes says, we
I didn't
become
see
nicer
Klingon.
than God. We become nicer than God. Leon, what's your next stand up if?
Well, stand up and show your support if you agree that, and I'm really big into parental rights, so forgive me, but
We all are.
parental rights trump pseudoscience. Parents, not woke bureaucrats or junk science, gender ideology decide what's best for our kids.
My next one, stand up if you agree. COVID cash led to this inflation that we're seeing, this incredible inflation that we're seeing. Stand up if you agree. You guys think that had anything to do with it?
That's,
100%.
That's the main precursor.
There's been dozens of studies on it. We've seen all kinds of proof on that.
I don't know. It just got here. I don't know. Inflation just got here.
The sheer amount, like right here in Fargo, we had some BLM idiot that skimmed what $1 million. She's from Chicago, and she comes to Fargo, and all of a sudden, all these liberals are just throwing cash at her, and a ton of it was COVID cash. Ton of it was. Like I think $300,000 were from like PPE loans or some crazy thing like that. And then you get, like with me, you look at your social media, especially back in that time, and you see all these people posing with all these dollars and a Lambo behind. That actually happened. Man. So, yeah, 100%.
But I have no idea why hamburger's $9 a pound. It just happened.
Just happened.
Ryan, you're next. One more time.
Stand up if you agree that taxpayer-funded pension plans for government workers should be abolished.
Oh, yes.
Mm.
We got to give you a bomb
That-
here.
Mm.
That was one I actually thought about today also, Ryan. I didn't write it down because I knew one of you guys would bring it up.
Mike, your turn.
How about stand up if you think American citizens know how to spend their money better than the government knows?
That's true.
Dude, you blew my mind.
100%.
Leon?
Stand up if you agree that the American war machine should focus on breaking things and taking names, and not on being like gender inclusive and all the other flowery crap that we're not.
And I'm going to
You stole that from Clay Travis today.
Oh,
He said,
okay.
He said they said the exact same thing. And
Nice.
actually, I heard Glenn Beck say it too. Same thing.
Okay. Good company then.
It is interesting to fight a war to win, isn't it?
What is that all about? I mean,
novel concept.
how is Halliburton gonna get paid? How are the guy that shot Bush's friend in the face, Rumsfeld? How is that family gonna No, it wasn't Rumsfeld, was it? All those guys that benefited for the 20 years that we were in, like Iraq and Afghanistan. If we, like our Department of War, being the Department of War, just goes in, wrecks the place, and says, "Now, this is the way we do things," and then we're out.
Anybody else got a problem?
Yeah.
I got one last one. We'll test if Democrats are actually listening. So this would be seeing if they're paying attention or if they're just robots because they were told not to stand. Stand up if you agree that words should be censored.
I've got
Go ahead.
two others that along the same lines, that because I don't feel our Democrats have been able to stand up enough here. So stand up if you'd rather stand by the side of an illegal immigrant who's been charged with crimes than stand by the side of parents who've had their children murdered by illegal immigrants.
Good one.
And the last one I had for that area was stand up if you feel that 14 and 15-year-olds do not have the mental acuity to understand their actions and should not be tried as adults for certain crimes. But you, at the same time, also believe that those same 14 and 15-year-olds do have the mental acuity to make life-altering decisions about their bodies and have brutal sex change surgeries.
Oh,
I can see the difference.
Well, I've
Just
come to a
absolute
conclusion. I've got a conclusion here. I
Go
think
ahead.
after listening to this conversation here, I think we can be speechwriters for Trump's next State of the Union. He'll have 20 different stand-up lines.
Hit me up, homie.
I saw after the State of the Union, I saw something online that was the perfect advertisement for this upcoming election season is run ads that are, these people are crazy.
Mm.
Just that's all it has to be. There's lots of ways to figure it out. The mental gymnastics it takes to be a Democrat. And I think we might see some of that here in this looky here, our next segment here. Folks, we try to bring up at the end of our show, maybe something you haven't seen that we saw that we want to bring to your attention. So I have to change screens here a little bit, but we call this segment Looky Here, Looky Here. And we're going to start with Mike. Mike, we're going to get to your Looky Here segment. I believe it's a video, so let me change screens a second here and get this. Yes, I'm ready to go. Here we go.
So
But no, I actually want to understand, like, do you want to share anything about what upset you, about what I said?
You're offending me.
You being offended,
Oh, cut off.
no, that's where it was supposed to cut off.
Okay.
Just to kind of tell you what this one was about is that this was a much longer clip. This female comedian was at a club doing her thing, and she obviously leans a little more conservative and was telling a couple jokes, but this liberal lady in the crowd kept hollering out at her and trying to ruin her show, but this comedian just kept going after her like this. And so, yeah, then at the end, of course, she was offended because they're always offended. But, you hear so many times, especially these Hollywood stars, they get blacklisted from Hollywood if they hold any conservative values. So why is it that anybody in the entertainment industry can't have conservative values? And furthermore, why do politics even come into play in the entertainment industry? I mean, the job of entertainers is to entertain us, not give us your political opinions. They sit in their multi-million-dollar homes and whine and complain about being oppressed and disrespected. You know what? Just shut your mouth and entertain me. That's your job. Your political opinions mean nothing to me.
Let me ask you this question. Do you guys is there an entertainer, or maybe there's many, or a musician that used to be somebody you listened to or had to go to their movies and you no longer do that? Is that list huge, or how do you make that delineation?
Well, I've got pretty much everybody banned.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I pretty much don't go to any movies. If Angel Studios puts something out, I'll go check that out. But all of Hollywood, I'm not giving these guys my money so they can stand there and propaganda. Do you understand that these people do not have the IQ of a grasshopper? None of them do. Yet they can stand there and politic. That one, I'm drawing a mind blank, but the British comedian, when he roasted all those liberals that time, that guy had it right. Like, we don't want to hear your stupid opinions. I mean, we pay you to act. Dribble a ball if that's what you do. Chuck the pigskin if that's what you do. And then
It was that guy right there, right?
It's him,
Yeah.
Yep. Right.
Whatever. I agree. I always say I'm not going to take my morals from a moral lecture from somebody in Hollywood. What are you, nuts?
Yeah. Do you
You're
see
going
the
to teach
part?
me about the way to morally live life. Hollywood. You are a politician. One of you two is going to tell me how to. About the only place I get that advice from is a minister. You know what I mean? And even there, you got to be a little bit. You got to weed out the crowd a little bit. I used to be a huge Bruce Springsteen fan. Now I get a kick out of when they call him that soccer player, Rubino or whatever. He looks just like this. What's her name? Megan Rubino?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
I think Bruce has forgotten what Youngstown really meant back in the day. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You got anybody, Ryan?
I used to really love you know, the old De Niro stuff, but now it's even hard to watch him nowadays.
How about you, Mike?
Well, I'll tell you what, it makes it easier for me to watch guys like Vince Vaughn and Mel Gibson. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody else is, you know, if they present any political opinion, I don't even care if they present the conservative side. Your job's to entertain me. Knock it off. Just do what your job is.
You're
we're
the
gonna
court
move-
jester. You're a jester.
Yes.
You know, make me laugh, and then
Right.
shut
Right.
up in the corner.
We're gonna move to Leon's looky here. Leon, you want to set this up a little bit? I kind of jumped Mike's thunder there. You want to set this up a little bit, or should I play it?
Well, I'll just say this. You know, these people, they say they don't want to do a thing or that they're not doing a thing, and then they say things like this.
Will you rule out the deployment of ICE or CBP to polling places this November?
There are no plans to have ICE officers at our polling locations.
Would you rule it out? Would you say it will not happen?
Do you plan on?
Not
I
sure why.
think that we should fire our editor. I'm just saying, that guy sucks big time.
I'm
But
just clicking a button and it just stops.
no, I'm not saying you. I'm talking about the guy that edits our clips and whatnot.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder who that is.
Yeah, that guy sucks. But
I'm
anyway,
not getting a raise. That's all I know.
sure. But if you listen, these people project. Everything is projection with them. So you just let them talk. You'll understand exactly what their plans are. Hey, you guys aren't sending ICE agents to the polling booths, are you? Well, I wasn't, but now I am. I mean, what the
Yeah.
hell, man?
They're
There's
not
that
very good
gal.
at hiding their plans.
The gal on Fox, she was on there. Now she's got her own show, Batia or something like that.
Hmm.
She coined it as every accusation is a confession.
Yep.
And that's really the way it is on the left. It's they accuse self-projection. It's just they accuse you of what they're actually doing. I always say if you're cheating on your wife, always say she's cheating on you. May put her on the defensive, man. You know what I mean? And that's basically what they're doing, right?
100%. And you can see that in more than just this. They call you racist and but if it's a guy like me, they want me to shut up and sit down and not say anything, you know. And you're just like, wait a minute, I can't speak now. Some liberal white woman is telling me, no, that's not what you feel. This is what. Well, wait, what?
Let me tell you how to feel.
Don't you play football or something? This is politics. What do you? Yeah, that whole thing. And I believe that we should have ICE agents at these polling places because I believe that they are 100% going to cheat. 100%. And then seeing that interaction, I'm like, and I'm not the biggest Kristi Noem fan, and anyone that follows me on social media, they understand this. I'm just not. But in that instance, I'm like, are you kidding me? Well, she should have said, well, she did say it. The guy that edits our clip cut off what she was saying, but she did say, why are you planning on having illegals voting? Exactly.
Ryan, your looky here is a video shot. Do you have to let us know what it's about, or do you want me to get up?
You can bring it up and I can
Okay.
speak while it's on. So this past week, the Minnesota legislature was having a committee hearing about shoplifting and organized theft. And one of the Minnesota Democrats spoke up and was talking about there's probably benefits to shoplifting and we should undertake a study to figure out what these benefits are. So it's not always a bad thing.
Leon, do you want to talk about shoplifting?
I was going to say, I'll be in Minnesota tomorrow. I got to get another big screen TV, you know? Help a brother out is what I'm saying. Wow, that's crazy.
We have to do a study to see. Oh, God. I see Minnesota. The other thing I noticed today, St. Paul legislator came out. And you guys have high enough registration fees, but she's talking about quadrupling them.
Oh yeah,
Oh
they
my
went
God.
up last year. I got mine last year, but for my truck, it was twice what it was. $800 for my tabs for the year.
Can you imagine, Mike? $800 to register your vehicle?
I think mine are 135. I'm pretty sure is what I'm paying.
And I think that's a lot.
My daughter has a little Mazda, and it was $400 for that.
She's thinking of quadrupling it. It'd be like 6 payments.
And so,
I'm gonna take out a mortgage for my vehicle tabs.
this is what happens. Like the city of Fargo is and Perry, I don't know if you know this, but the city of Fargo is $1.3 billion in debt. Like they have a 1.3 billion with a B dollar deficit. So they tried to snatch up Harwood, and they're trying to do all kinds of weird stuff and that's what happens. You get these Democrats in there, they run the finances through the floor, and so now every taxpayer out there is a target now. You guys got to pay for it, and that's why you don't vote Democrat.
Okay, I'm going to do my lookie here. Now, this I'm going to have to play twice. First time, I just want you to listen to him, okay? This is James Tellerico. He just won the Democrat side and he's dangerous. This guy's very dangerous, but the left is going to love this guy, okay? But I want you to listen to this, and then I'm going to play the second time after I tell you what to look at. But here we go. I got to change the screen. Here we go.
It's been said before that when fascism comes to America, it'll be wrapped in the flag and carrying.
Why did it stop? Hang on.
It'll be wrapped in the flag and carrying the cross.
So you saw that. He says,
It's been said before that when fascism comes to America, it'll be wrapped in the flag and carrying the cross. In the flag.
come on.
So maybe it's not the editor.
Might not be. So basically what he's saying is when fascism comes, it's going to be wrapped in a flag and carrying a Bible. Okay. Now look behind him. This is a cross and it's wrapped in the pride flag.
Projection.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy, right? Let me try to play it this way, see if it works. We're gonna rewind. So he's talking about what he's projecting in the back. This is a perfect example of
It's been said before that when fascism comes to America, it'll be wrapped in the flag and carrying the
oh
cross.
shucks, it's just not gonna work. Anyhow, isn't that it's incredible, isn't it?
Dan, yeah, that is a church. I mean, in my opinion, it is not a Christ-centered church, but yeah, that's a church.
Now, Joel Heitkamp had something on Facebook today. I don't know why he popped up, but it said, very interesting guy. And he had a link to an article of this, and I put heretic. This guy, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, Ryan or Mike. Have you heard about this guy?
Tellerico.
Oh yeah.
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 He came out a month or so ago and was trying to say that the Virgin Mary had a decision of whether she wanted to have the baby or not. I mean, honest, this is he calls himself an evangelical. Yeah, if that's the direction evangelical, they better do something in their own us Catholics got our own problem. But if you got this guy calling himself an evangelical, you better do some weeding out in your parishes. That's all I can say. The Virgin Mary had a choice.
Yeah, I heard that.
You know, and you've got 2,000 years of biblical scholars who are interpreting meanings and such in the scriptures. And now all of a sudden you've got this guy who just is going to tear up, all those 2,000 years of biblical scholars and say, nope, they're all wrong. This is what it really means. I mean, this guy is completely unhinged.
And he beat what's her name? Cardi B, the
Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett.
Same thing.
That was the fun. But yeah, he beat her out, and he was on the scene for like 2 seconds. The Democrats really wanted her out, man. She was a liability.
Rogan
I
had him
kinda
on
wish
his
he would've
show.
won.
What is he doing with that? That's how he got famous. Rogan and the Tonight Show or whatever, or
The
Colbert
Late
had
Show
him
or
on,
whatever, yeah.
and
where-
this is how he gets elected. But he's dangerous.
I do not disagree. I don't know who the Republican is that's running against him.
That's Cornyn and Paxson.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So if someone as crazy as this guy gets Texas, we're in trouble, man.
Oh, the country's over. Yeah, the country's over.
They always
Where we
think
gonna
they
go,
can win- they always
Idaho?
think they can win Texas and they lose by 10.
Oh, you better lose by 30 because if you have any Christianity blood in you, this guy he's a heretic. Shame on him. Shame on you for even listening to him. Folks, we promise next time we're going to try to do better on the videos. We're going to work on that. We're new at this. This is podcast number
We're
2.
going to take a
We
class.
sure work fine in test mode.
Yeah.
Something happens here. We'll have to keep working on it. We thank you for watching episode 2 of the Due North Political Podcast. We'll be back in 2 weeks on a